Earning a couple bumps and scratching my hand bloodily, I finally caught her at a square. What, not so fast after all, are you? That's not as easy as running from some half-wits. Let me go, get off! The pioneer girl was crying. Suddenly I felt a strong blow to my back. Everything swam before my eyes and a groaned Kemne came at me with a tremendous speed. So you're into children too? Lisa gibt's mir gerade richtig. That's it, get him! Blow to the belly. Mann, das ist ja gerade so richtig hier, ne? Wir werden gerade, glaube ich, slough-mäßig Massen verprügelt. I instinctively covered my head with my arms. Blau? Ah, Senja. Not so cool now, are you? Another hit. At that point I was ready to lose consciousness, but gathering the last bits of strength I raised myself onto my elbows and rolled several meters to the side. Blood was flowing into my eyes, turning the crowd of pioneers beating me up into a continuous red haze. This is of course not the best educational method, but quite an effective one, I think. Sogar Olga macht mit! From who the hell knows where the camp... Was? From who the hell knows where came the camp leader's voice? What are you doing? Enough! Ja, so wird ich damals verprügelt. Did you read wie heißt das? Don Quixote? Don Quixote? Lena was sitting near me, merrily swinging her feet. Yeah, but I hardly remember what it was about by now. Windmills! All of your stories are like fights with windmills. What mills, please? And even if there's no mill, you will surely build one because you just have to fight something. Saying that as if I'm some kind of masochist. Aren't you? She smiled slyly. Senja. What will I do without her? Sometimes I thought that everything that happened with me in this camp wasn't that bad if this reward was waiting for me at the end. I pulled her to myself and kissed her. Wait, what if someone sees? Senja blushed and resisted, but more for show, if anything. It doesn't concern you often. No, but... Anyway, where was I? The windmills? Yeah, I mean no. I meant that you still can't settle down. Like, if you had ridden that bus that time like all the normal people, I wouldn't have met you. As if you'd been meeting me before, always Slavia, Lisa, Lena, she quipped. See, that means I've done everything right. To hell with you, alpha male with a harem my foot. Let's stop talking about the past. We've got a whole life ahead of us. Lena. Wir wurden also verprügelt, sind jetzt irgendwo im Wald und Lena ist bei uns. What could possibly go wrong, dude? Hey, you alive? The cold water splashed onto my face and with difficulty I managed to open my punched up eye. Oh, ist es doch nicht Lena? Over me was leaning a pioneer. You again? What? They didn't finish me off and you decided to help? Well, go ahead then. Get on with it. Somewhere deep inside I was even happy for such a turn of events. Finally this broken vicious circle will be torn apart. No, you don't understand. I'm not. I'm not him. Who are you then? I didn't care already. It would be so nice to die now, end this loop and go on to a new one. I guess never before did I want so hard for the endless cycle of my life to continue. The only important thing is for them to obey the long-established rules. Don't you understand? The pioneer said with anguish. No, I don't play these games anymore. Really did they decide to place me in the shoes of that idiot? Is this some kind of game and I'm a green noob for them? Not on my server. And anyway, I don't care. I tried to get up, but the pain made me just moan and lean against the nearby trunk. Although, if I'll have to spend 5.5 more days in this damned loop, I will obviously have to make certain compromises. Okay, I don't care who you are or why you are here, but if you really want to help, I won't refuse. If he really is the one he wants to look like, then I can expect help from him. Yes, of course. Bring me something to drink then. The pioneer quickly jumped up and disappeared behind the trees. Did he run to the canteen? What a dumbass. The time was tracking treacherously slowly. I lost the phone, either during the fight or even before that. I couldn't tell how much time passed since the moment the pioneer ran for the water. But in any case, he should have been back already. My injuries were hurting unbearably, and it seemed like I was starting to get a fever. Could it be an infection? I could simply die. They should at least have beaten me to death. But no, I have to lie here and wait for the end in agony. Just you wait. Next time I'll show you all. The fear of death ceased to exist for me simply because one can only fear something that scares him. In my case, death will be a salvation. Though I could hardly believe that, more likely the next time everything will repeat itself. Which means I'll have to struggle, have to fight for myself, for my life. Same as the first times. To do everything, to not become a whiner and a snot-nose like that one. Barely managing to get up on my feet, I stumbled towards the camp. It was getting dark. I should have probably asked the pioneer that happened after I lost consciousness during the beating at the square. Maybe they're looking for me. Or they think I'm already dead. In any case, I should be careful. Right now, the various skills obtained during the time spent in all these endless loops will be useful. But a one-hand and one-legged cripple hardly makes a good fighter. At first glance, the square looked empty. No pioneers, no birds, none of the squirrels that plentifully inhabited the forest around the camp. And the air was ringing with a dangerous silence, like the lull before a fight, or like a minefield bypassed by both people and beasts. Take a step and you'll be blown into pieces. If only it was really so easy. But I can't just stand and wait. I have to get to the infirmary, wash and bandage my wounds, drink a painkiller and antibiotics. The first step through the square were difficult to take, more because of the oppressive tension than my battle wounds. I somehow dragged myself to the end of it, walked along the narrow pathway, reached the infirmary, and had already started to mess with the lock when I suddenly heard a familiar rustle in the bushes nearby. Suddenly, that is not a beast or a bird, that's a human. Though I understood well that the rampaging pioneers won't hide themselves, they act openly now. I don't know who's hiding there, but you better get out, or else... Or else what? In this condition I can hardly even pose more of a threat than that arrogant little girl. It's just me. Oh! Oh god. The shy pioneer almost whispered, coming out of her cover. Oh, it's you? I asked sarcastically. Alone? And where are the others? Though, yes, you alone will be sufficient. No, I can go if I'm disturbing you. Stay. Things can get any worse anyway. I was vainly messing with the lock. A Of course it wasn't hard for me to pick it with even a toothpick or a match. But for that I needed healthy fingers, while mine were all covered with hematomas and bruises, and every second joint dislocated. The most complicated action I'm capable of now is holding a pioneer flag and idly swinging it over my head. A dumb pastime on its own, but the local pioneers can make me do worse. Maybe I can help? How? With moral support? I've got a... He stopped mid-sentence and held out a bunch of keys to me. How? Yes, I didn't expect something like this, but wasn't really surprised. I had other things on my mind. I took them from Slavia. Just like that? You want to tell me she gave them to you without even asking why you needed them? Well, I said I don't feel well and I didn't want to bother her, so I could go to the infirmary by myself. Yeah, great pretext. Slyness, archness, and pretense. They say that behind every strong man stands a strong woman. I remembered about the second pack of Cosmos that the pioneer gifted me. The cigarettes turned out to be considerably crumbled, but I still managed to find a couple of intact ones. Okay, the keys will be really be useful. That was smart of you. Thank you. The girl smiled almost unnoticeably. What if she really isn't hiding a knife behind her back? Where are these thoughts even coming from, though? Weiß jemand scheiß Messer dabei hat? The presumption of innocence had never worked in this world so far, and especially now, deeming everyone around to be hostile a priori was the most correct thing to do. I carefully looked the girl up and down. What? Is there something wrong with me? No, I just don't even know. You better tell me, is everything right with you or not? I don't understand you. The pioneer girl was clearly embarrassed and upset. Oh well, while she's at least pretending to be good, I shall use it. It will be hard to bandage all my wounds by myself with unbending arms. Don't mind it, if you really want to help. The infirmary was brightly illuminated by the fluorescent lamps hanging from the ceiling. Ich mach mal die Musik noch mal ein bisschen leiser. With some difficulty I clambered onto the couch and tried to take my shirt off. Let me help. Okay, go on. On the right and the left sides around my belly were reddening terrible looking patches of bruises. I must have broken several ribs, or maybe it's the other way around and only a few of them remained unbroken. Every movement echoed with pain inside. Ah! Can't you be more careful? Sorry. The pioneer started to undress me, zealously even. Finally I was left in only my shorts. Wait, we have to wipe the wounds with iodine, disinfect them. Yeah, sure, so I would look like a brown beer? No thanks. Let's do it with hydrogen peroxide, it's in the desk drawer. The pioneer didn't argue. Though hydrogen peroxide or iodine, it still stings the same. I had to make an inhuman effort to not shout out loud. Does it hurt? What do you think? I hissed through clenched teeth. Then the pioneer started to bandage me. Every time she had to grab the bondage. The bondage, eh? Every time she had to grab the bench on the other side, she was almost pressing herself against me. Here, Lena said with the feeling of a duty well done. Oh, jetzt sagt er auf einmal Lena. Und nicht einfach hier das schüchterne Pioniermädchen. She overreacting. The thought flashed in my head. Yes, that's better. Not that I really felt better, right? I was just more certain I will be almost healed no later than tomorrow. But that will be tomorrow. I I tried to get up to walk to the truck cabinet, but my head suddenly started spinning and I had to sit on the couch again. Get me analgin and, well, that. Did I really forget the contents of the local medicine chest? I raised a hand to my forehead, it was hot. Something for tetanus, I don't know, it's written there in the instructions. The girl bustled about and soon returned with a pile of multicolored pills. What's that? Like you asked. I was taking a risk, of course, but it clearly couldn't get any worse. And water to wash it down. I swallowed the pills and barely managed to stretch myself out on the couch. The pioneer girl sat on the chair nearby and started to look at me patiently. What does she need after all? The suspense was tiring. I just wanted to sleep, to drift off and forget about this mad world for at least some time. Or better yet, wake up in another one. Let them end what they've begun and finish me off. Oh, this shy girl. And how long are you planning on sitting here? If I'm disturbing you, I can leave. No, you're not. Suddenly in my head appeared a wild but not senseless idea. You can't even help. The girl gave me an inquiring look. Take the jar, see? I barely raised a hand and pointed at the needed medicine. Now draw a full syringe from it. Ah, okay. You mean, you serious about it? Sila's face was burning and her voice sounded not even surprised, scared. Quite. No, you must be really out of your mind. What's the big deal? Even the worst case, the new loop in a couple of days, no one will even remember about it. I will, that's enough already. So your answer is no? My answer is stop bullying me. She tried to get up, but I fully caught her by the hands. Hey! Instead of trying to break free, Senya laughed and pressed herself against me. Are you really not joking? What if we do get out of here after all? You haven't talked about that for a while. I haven't, but I'm now. If in the real world you expect to just forget and pretend you haven't said anything now, then... No, both here and in the real world my words are sincere. Even so... It's just hard to believe so suddenly. What's sudden about it? How long have we known each other? I've long since lost count of the loops. I'm still counting though. Senya said quietly and hugged me even tighter. Was? War das gerade ein Gespräch? Jo, lass mal poppen! Ah. Ein beruhigendes Ticken. Jetzt vielleicht ein beruhigendes Ficken. Du, yo boy! Nee. The girl obediently filled the syringe with the colorless, transparent liquid and handed it to me. No, when did you ever see a patient giving himself injections? But I don't know how to... There's nothing difficult about it. It's just that for me in this world there was still the only and... the one and only taboo, suicide. I was ready, and even wanted, to die at the hands of mad pioneers or a lethal injection, but ending my own life. For some reason it seemed that I shouldn't. I couldn't even explain why and never tried to check. Maybe it was all because of that fear of uncertainty that had possessed me in the past 24 hours, or maybe it's all much simpler than the reason of the simple self-preservation instinct. Regardless, I was sure that if I'm killed by someone else, I will immediately wake up in a new loop, but ready for everything now. The only problem was the fact that this girl clearly wasn't going to help me with the voluntary quietus. No, what if I do something wrong? It's better to call the nurse. I'll go, I'll be back soon. The nurse was the last thing I damn well needed here right now. Wait! Barry raised my up on an elbow and grabbed her by the hand. Don't you worry. I've done it 100 times and I'll teach you too. There's nothing difficult about it. The girl wavered. First, take the tourniquet. Wait, what? Why would you need a tourniquet? It's used when taking blood. Oh, okay, don't take the tourniquet. The pioneer girl laid the tourniquet on the table near me. I moved my left hand to the side to make it more convenient to her. Maybe we shouldn't after all. I won't even feel anything. Her hands were shaking, jumping left and right. If she misses the Dwayne, it won't be pretty. Euthanasia through the drugs from a Soviet medical kit is a pressurous pleasure as is. Euthanasia through the drugs from... Don't look at me like that, the girl suddenly said. I'm looking at you how? Don't get distracted. I can't do it like this. Oh, here we go. I made a helpless sigh and chucked my hand away from her. Okay, forget it. I'll just sleep and be alright tomorrow. Don't forget to turn off the lights and close the door when you leave. The girl obediently headed towards the exit but froze halfway. Are you really in a lot of pain? I really am. What does it matter now? I just do it. I could do it. Only if you close your eyes. Wenn ich meine Augen schließe, holt sie dann ihr Messer hervor und schlitzt mich einfach auf. Jesus. So if I close them, what will change? It'll be easier for me, like you're sleeping. Das ist in einem gewissen Grad etwas gruselig. Ja, wenn du wach bist, kann ich es nicht machen, aber wenn du schläfst, dann mache ich alles mit dir, was ich möchte. Her eyes smiled. Okay, I'll close them. Doesn't seem to be anything scary. Oh boy, ich glaube, du hast nicht die Lena-Route durchgemacht, mein guter Semyon. Sonst wüsstest du, was hier möglicherweise passiert. Oder passieren könnte. The girl walked up to me and took the syringe. So, yes. Shit. I closed my eyes and at the same second, a thought flashed through my brain. Why am I even trusting her so blindly? Just half an hour ago, when standing on the porch, I was thinking very differently. Something pressed me to the couch with a strength that made me unable to move my arms or legs. This bitch! Fucking hell! Das ist immer noch akzeptabler als Doki Doki, auf jeden Fall. Hätte sie jetzt schwarze Augen und einen komischen Mund, der sich bewegt, ich wäre hier weg. The pioneer girl with the tourniquet in her hands leaned over me. A second later, it tightened around my neck. What are you? I wheezed. Even if this is the death I was urging for her. It shouldn't be like this, not being strangled with a fucking tourniquet. No, wait, I'm not ready. The pioneer was pulling even harder, mad grimace on her face. Mouth grinning a devilish smile, sunken eyes open wide and even seeming to glow with some unnatural light. I vainly tried to break free. The injuries and fatigue didn't let me. Here comes the anoxemia. Everything is getting blurry in front of my eyes. I closed them, but the imprint of the crazy grimace is still left on the inner side of my eyelids. At the edge of my mind, I heard the creak of the opening door. The devilish pioneer loosens her grip and then, The face of another girl is already leaning over me. "Let's go, now!" A familiar voice whispers to me. Someone helped me get up. I leaned on them and stumbled away from the infirmary. What the fuck is going on? Ah, das ist jetzt die Szene, okay. Nikotin, Rückkehr der Raucherlunge. Der Raucherlunge. Der Raucherlunge, Alter. Ach. We were going slowly, often stumbling and bumping into everything. I was passing out and coming to all the time, but I just couldn't raise my head and was only looking at my feet. The paving stone in front of the infirmary gave way to the asphalt of the square, and then it to earth covered by fallen leaves and fear needles. At last we stopped and with difficulty I sank to the ground and looked around. Seems like the same clearing the pioneers dragged me to. I'm walking in some hellish circles today. I tried to smirk, but coughed immediately. The back of my hand got covered in blood. "Here, drink." The girl handed me a cold flask. I barely took several gulps and looked at my savior. She seemed to be the same familiar girl, but something was out of tune with her usual image. After all, a smile suited this pioneer girl more than the expression of cold determination that was frozen on her face. I didn't even really know what to say. I've already been mistaken once about that maniac in the infirmary and let myself relax for a second. Now I'm going to have to be wary till the end of it this time. Though the unbearable pain in my whole body and spinning my head didn't let me concentrate even for a moment. What's this all? Shh. No need to talk. You get worse. I know it all. The girl sat and looked at me carefully as if, contrary to her own words, she was waiting for an answer. I know everything about you. I'm actually also real. How the damn hell are you real? We already met yesterday. I haven't noticed anything real about you. I coughed up blood again. Is this one of your jokes again? I continued quieter. You can't just kill me. You can't, right? You have to torture, to mock me, want me to go mad. And then I realized that all of this has already happened once. Though now our roles were swapped. No, it's not like that at all. You got it wrong. You weren't talking to me yesterday. Oh, why am I explaining? It's like you don't understand yourself. The pioneer girl frowned. Didn't you ever met your own copies? There definitely was logic in her words, that I couldn't find a flaw in right away. Well, maybe. And why do you need all this? To help me, I mean? Because you are the same as me. Real. Isn't it natural? Wouldn't you do the same in my place? If only she knew what I've done before. But what if she isn't lying? After all, I didn't meet people other than me in this world before. Thanks, if so. The girl didn't answer anything, only smiled. But I still don't understand how did you... I mean, I've met you 1,000 times before and all of them were bots. It's hard to explain and there's no time now. No time? Are you in a hurry or something? Not only me, soon we will all escape here. You mean from this loop to a new one? No, I mean from this camp for good. What do you mean? I broke into a dumb smile. The very thought of there being an exit from this place had seemed absurd to me for a long time now. Don't tell me you want to stay here forever. Well, I've kinda been here forever already. I propose you reject, okay? No, wait, you just got me wrong. Though, why wrong, actually? Am I really ready to go back to the real world? It's alien and hostile to me now, as this camp has become my home. But that home lies in ruins, robbed and burned. Will I be able to build it anew? Yeah, so what do you want then? Okay, but how? You don't propose, I just take your words for it, alright? If you really understand my situation, you won't refuse to explain. Fine, but now we have to make sure there's no pursuit. Wait. But the pioneer wasn't listening to me, and a second later she disappeared in the vivid greenery. Just wonderful.